Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, very good.
Good.
Scott, it seemed like there was a few more long balls that you guys were throwing against the Chiefs on Friday. Was that a concerted effort, or just sort of how the game played out? And what are some of the things that you're looking for to maximize that kind of a play?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of both, I would say. Like, I think, to be a successful offense in the NFL, you got to throw the ball down the field. You got to use the field. I think, our guys, they did a great job of getting off the ball, and really attacking the secondary. I thought our front did a great job of protection, and they did a good job of putting the ball, getting the ball out of his hand first off, and then accurately where guys could go make plays. So it's not just the quarterback, it's not the receiver. It's a combination of everybody. But yeah, we that's how we want to play on offense. It's not every team is going to allow you to do that. If you want to be good in this league, you got to win different ways. So yeah, but that was something that we felt like we could do, and the guys did a really great job of playing fast and executing the plan.
Not asking you to give away secrets, but on any given pass play, is there baked in a long threat all the time, or is that just a play that's
not on any given pass play? But there are some, where whether it's your first read or whether it's an alert that you get if you get a certain coverage. But no, I wouldn't. It's not every play.
You talked about getting the ball out quickly, and that seemed to be when you had the most success. Really, the most success came when back foot hit the ground, first read was open, hit it. Like, is that how you want the offense to kind of operate, to be able to go that way?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to get the first read open every single time, but it's difficult. But yeah, of course, that's when we spend a lot of time to designing plays. Like, we're trying to make it as easy as we can on the quarterback and the offensive line, and that's for him to get the ball out quickly. And a lot of times, like, quickly, it might not be like seconds on a clock, but it's like what you're saying, like maybe it's a longer drop, but when the back foot hits, timed up with the protection, the ball's coming out. That's ideal, and then I think Aidan did a really nice job on some of those plays where we didn't get the desired look and it got out of his hand, and we got some completions. Some guys, we had a hot throw to DJ Turner where he got the ball in space and made a couple guys miss, and that ended up being a chunk play. So when you kind of design things to go a certain way, but then we have a plan if it goes bad, and the guys execute it, it makes you more willing to continue to call plays like that.
Brock Bowers was named Rookie of the Month this morning. Knowing that teams are putting their best defender on him a lot of times, can you talk about just his growth potential on how he's handled that and where he could go from here?
Yeah, he's got a very, his level, his standards for himself are very high, and he approaches it that way. So he works really hard. He doesn't think anybody, he would never say this, and he would never said this to me, but I don't think he thinks anybody can cover him. And he gets frustrated when that does happen. I'm sure you guys have talked to him. You're not going to get a lot out of him. But he's a very competitive guy. You see him, his emotions come out on the field when he makes plays. We're going to try to continue to move him around. He's capable of that, obviously. And then the other guys, it opens stuff up for other guys, which we've seen in the last couple of weeks. And Brock, he made a couple plays in the first half, but they did a good job. And then he got some plays in the second half of that game, and obviously got the big day.
Patrick Graham was talking about how some of the toughest quarterbacks to defend are guys that can get the team into the right play call at the line of scrimmage, in and out of a play based on what the look that they're seeing. How much of that is kind of coached up by you guys, or just something that somebody brings to the table in that regard when you're evaluating?
It's another thing that's a combination. There's certain styles of offense. Some guys are just kind of build things into the play where they don't want a lot of thinking pre-snap and just want to play fast. But then there's certain plays where it's like, okay, it's not going to be good, or a certain play that we design for a specific look that the quarterback can get out of. And I think that's something that happens with QBs, like as their career goes on. They're able to see that, and also not just the quarterback though, but like a group. Like if you have an offense that's 7 or 8 of their 11 starters have played together for a few years, now everyone can kind of do that, because it's not just the quarterback. Like, these are guys that are thinking, for example, I'm running hard off the ball to the left, and now all of a sudden they got to shift focus that they're pass blocking, and there's more to it than just changing the play.
Right. You've been doing this a little while now. Do you feel like it's easier, harder, or the same to evaluate quarterbacks coming out of college in terms of translating from college to the NFL?
I think it's hard, and it's always been hard. You know, there's certain things that you look for, but there's so many factors involved. I mean, obviously the physical traits, but there's so much, like, I don't want to say like pressure, but there's so much that goes into playing quarterback and, you know, being under a microscope, and it's not just what you do on the football field, and you know, that's a lot, and it's a lot for anybody, but especially like a young person. So when you get picked, especially if you get picked high, and then all of a sudden you're playing, like, everything you do is going to be criticized. You can play great games, and they're going to pick apart the 5 things you did bad, or, you know, whatever, vice versa. So it takes a special type of person, and that is probably the hardest part of the evaluation process is, you know, seeing, you know, can they, because a lot of these college players that are great players, you know, they maybe lost 4 games. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, everyone has adversity in some form, but not like the week-to-week adversity that you face in this league.
How important is patience then from an organization, a coaching staff, to understand that there will be that learning curve? It feels like they shuffle through quarterbacks all the time.
Yeah, I think so. I think just understand that every case is different. You know, some guys are going to come in, and because of maybe the team around them or just how they're wired, they're going to, you know, catch fire. And then there's some other guys that maybe not, and then, you know, it takes them a little longer. And then there's some guys that, you know, you can just tell that's probably not for them, you know. And I think, like I said, I think you just have to be honest with your evaluation, and then you got to be, you know, willing to kind of change that evaluation as you get more information.
Scott, yesterday we talked to Aidan. He spoke about how comfortable and how confident he was in you. Can you speak about your confidence in Aidan?
Yeah, he's a really, like, smart, focused individual. You know, he makes decisions on time, you know, and for the most part, they're the right decisions. No one's going to be 100%. But I always tell him, like, if the ball's coming out of your hand, like, then I'm not going to be mad at you. I might coach you up on a different look, but there's always really good communication. Like, he's not afraid to tell me how he feels about a call, or, you know, a certain way we're doing a play, and then I'll give it right back to him, whether I agree with him or I'll explain to him why we have it a certain way, and then he'll get it. But you know, he loves football. He's all in on it, and you know, I think the more he plays, the more he'll continue to grow. But you know, I wanted to give him a chance to make plays on you know, Friday night, and he did. You know, it was fun to see. Obviously, not the result we wanted, but like, there was a lot of really good things that our guys did. I was proud of them.
When you look at the Tampa Bay defense, the head of the snake has kind of been Levante David, who's been there for a while. Can you just talk about, you know, why he's been successful in the league for so long, and also, do you believe that the Tampa Bay defense in general really resemble kind of what he brings to the field?
Yeah, Levante David, we've had some matchups with him in the past, different places that I've been. It really got a lot of respect for him as a player, both you know, just the mental side of it, his football knowledge, and then just him as an athlete. You know, he's a good tackler. You know, he's been really good at coverage throughout his career. You know, he's a really, really good player, and then he's got the big guy, you know, in front of him that makes it tough, you know. And they got a good defense. Coach Todd Bowles is someone that, you know, I've coached against in the past, and he really does a good job of keeping you off balance and bringing different looks. So, but no, those, you know, I mentioned Vita Vea, so I was and then Levante. I mean, those are 2 guys that have been there a decent amount of time, and two tough players to go against.
Obviously, the run game is a function of all 11 guys, but what has Sincere kind of brought to the run game that has kind of jumped everything?
You know, he's really done a nice job of you know, I talk about the quarterback. Like, quarterback's obviously the key decision maker everyone talks about, but like, the running back's also a decision maker, because he decides where we're going to run the ball. You know, like, obviously we have a plan, but they got to use their vision, and he's done a really nice job. You know, and Amir as well, you know, ran the ball very well, but Sincere's been decisive. He's gotten the ball where it's supposed to be for the most part, and then he's done a really good job of not letting that first guy tackle him. You know, and that might only be a 5-yard gain, but like, it's you know, if that first guy hits you at 2, we get 5. Now it's 2nd and 5, and that makes a big difference for the whole offense. And he's done a nice job of, you know, getting those 11-yard gains. Him and Amir both, where it's like, now you're getting a first down, and getting to 1st and 10 is huge.
With Brock, he obviously has the talent, but as a rookie, you've seen a lot of different coverages. Is there anything that you see during the week with his preparation or ability to study an opponent that allows him to have some of the success that he's having?
Yeah, I mean, he takes care of the studying the opponent, and then just the way he takes care of his body. I mean, he really is he's really all ball. You know, he comes in, he's one of the first guys here every morning. I mean, you can find him late at night in the facility. I know it's like a cliche talk, but you know, whether he's getting treatment, his body's healthy he can be, spending extra time watching film, kind of looking at the players that he thinks are going to be matched up with him in man, just to find different ways to get that separation. You know, and then, I mean, even the other thing we never talk about, and we ask him to do it, is like, he's a really good blocker too, you know, and that, being a tight end, like, you can't just play him as a receiver, so, you know, that aspect of it, and he's very, like, prideful in every aspect of his job. All right, thank you guys.